It seems like every other day now I'm recording a video about the Xbox One. I did promise in the last video that I wouldn't be making another one, but it wouldn't be right to not make a video in light of the changes that they've just announced in regards to their DRM policies. You're all aware by now that Microsoft have now gone back on their original DRM policies, and they've basically gone the same route, not quite as well as Sony, but they've certainly gone down that route of being a less controlling machine. What can I say? Well done. And that's not well done to Microsoft. That's well done to you, the people who've listened, who've commented on my videos and agreed with what I've been saying. There's one person who left a comment, and it was an excellent comment. They were saying, I like the way you use the phrase, vote with your wallets. And you've been doing that. From what I'm hearing, I don't have figures, the exact figures on it, but the charts certainly show that on Amazon. Apparently, I've heard that the PlayStation is literally outselling the pre-orders like 5-1. That's, people are going, so it's nothing to do with what people did on the internet or videos or forums. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with sales. Yes, but you're still the people who did that. You're the ones who went, we're not having this. We're just not having it. We're going to not buy this console. They saw that and went, holy hell, we need to change this and change it fast. I'm not trying to say that they've done this in the past couple of days. They probably knew this a while ago, which is probably why they cancelled the press round table after E3. They probably knew what was going to happen after E3, that they were going to announce this. But, you know, that's up to them if they want to play that kind of game. What I need to make sure that you don't think I'm doing is bashing them twice. I bashed them before because they were making stupid decisions. Now they've gone back on it. I'm not going to bash them again. What I will say is that they've really ruined a lot of people's trust to them. And I completely understand that although well done, you've got it changed. I can understand why people are still saying that I want to buy an Xbox One, because they've got to earn your trust, and they've already proven that they're not capable of doing so. Plus, we've still got that issue with the Kinect still being attached to it. If they came in and went, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the option. You can buy a package that's got the Kinect, and you can use that, or you can buy a package that's $100 less, or £100 less, or £80 less, or £50 less, and you don't have to buy the Kinect. That would put them back in the running, I'm telling you. That would put them back in the running with Sony. And I'm telling you, it would be such an interesting console war, which, by the way, is what we all wanted. We wanted a console war. I've said that in my past videos, and this is what we were getting towards now that they've decided to go back on these stupid policies. We're getting closer to that console war. And, I mean, I still remember the SNES Mega Drive console war. That was awesome. They were fighting for your business. It was excellent. That's what you want as a consumer. You know, you've got all sorts of different avenues now where they're after your business, but there are problems still as well. The self-publication for indie developers with the Xbox, don't dismiss them, because Microsoft already have done that. They've already dismissed them. They can't self-publish on Microsoft with Microsoft, but they can with Sony. Some of the best games I've played in the past 2 years, in fact most of the games I play now, are independent games. My next video is going to be on Dust and Elysian Tale, a game made by a single man. And by the way, it's an excellent game, you'll see in the review. But one guy made that over a 2.5 year period, and it's excellent. It's better than the majority of AAA games I've played recently. And don't forget that they've done that. They've turned their back on people who make those kind of games and those kind of innovations. The thing is as well, the downside to this is they've taken away the family sharing, where you could have 10 family members share. There are going to be people, and Angry Joe covers this in his rant, and I tell you should check it out because he talks much more passionately about it than I do. They've taken it away, and there are going to be people who are going to say that's because of what we did. Now that's nonsense. It's Microsoft who've done this. Don't let people say that by you saying no, we don't want DRM. We don't have to check in like someone on bail every 24 hours. We shouldn't have to do that. It's our property. We do what we want with it. That's what we were fighting for. They're the ones who've taken away the sharing with 10 family members. And I understand why, because if you've got a physical disc, you can't do it, because you could just do it to 1,000 consoles. And we're not talking about that. They could still have the 10 sharing, the family members sharing, with digital downloads. If they want to go down the digital download route, which it sounds like they do by the changes that we're making, You could still do that. You could still allow 10 family members to share those digital downloads, but they're not. They're annoyed that they didn't get their own way. That's all it is. I'm telling you something. If they took away the Connect as something that has to be on there, and if they gave you back that 10 family members sharing for digital downloads, Sony would be in proper fight. They would be in a proper fight, and that's exactly what I wanted. Because for people who aren't used to it, I never felt like the 360 and the PlayStation 3 ever went really head to head properly. I think that the 360 gained such a large lead initially, and then the PlayStation 3 just slowly chipped it away. But I never felt like there was a massive contest there. When I was younger, there was people like arguing about it constantly between SNES and Mega Drive. I know that people still do that between the 360 and the PlayStation 3, but not to the same sort of level. And the companies, Nintendo and Sega, were fighting themselves to get to you. And then, a bit later, we had Dreamcast, N64, Sony PlayStation 1. They were all going at it, and it was just exactly what you want, because people, they'll give you deals. They'll be like, well, how do we beat them? And by Sony, if Microsoft came out now, got rid of the Kinect as something you have to have, and offered you a console bundle without it for $100 less, or like I say, £50 less, and then they would be in such a position then where Sony would be like, what do we do now to make that better? And then it's constantly back and forth then, to the point where they're constantly going, well, that they've done that, so what shall we do? We'll do this. And then Xbox will be like, well, they've done that now, we'll bring back the family sharing. Then Sony will do something, and then they'll do something, and it's because they want your business. Don't have no doubt about it. I'm not going to sit here. I didn't want to make it sound like I was going over the top with saying Sony are the greatest company on earth. They came out, though, and they were listening. That's all you need to do. If you want people to be on your side, listen to them. Listen to them and make the changes about it. And Microsoft have done that. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to give them too much praise, because they created this issue. So I'm not. There were people who were speaking on Twitter to people like Jim Sterling, people like that, were saying that, are you going to apologise now for bashing Microsoft? It's like, how on earth can you ask someone to apologise when they were the ones in the wrong? They were the ones in the wrong. They've put it right, admittedly. So I'm not going to keep bashing them, because that's just stupid, and it just makes you look stupid. I'm still going to choose PlayStation 4, and I can tell you for why. It's because they have ruined the trust, and there's still issues with the Kinect, with independent gaming, and with the cloud. I'm not going to talk too much about the cloud because I'm not sure the ins and outs of it, but it does seem like the cloud gaming is going to need an always online connection for you to get the best out of your games, and I'm still not really behind that. I still like the way PlayStation have come about, been very open about it, and said, look, this is who we're listening to, and it's you. That's the reason I'm choosing a PlayStation 4. But I just wanted to say well done to the people. The point of this video is to say well done to the people who, like me, it's not self-congratulatory, this video. I have made 3 videos with 1,000 views. That's nothing. But it's 1,000 people who've watched it that wouldn't have seen it before, and wouldn't have heard of it before, and agreed with my opinion as well. Now, and it's the other people on YouTube, the small people like me, the Angry Joes, the Total Biscuits, the Jimquisition, people like that who make these videos, and people listened. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be praised. You should be praised, because you've stood up and you went no, and everyone listened to us and agreed and didn't buy it and voted. Like I said before, voted with their wallets, and that's exactly what we wanted you to do, and what you wanted to do, to tell a company like Microsoft, you're going to push us around? Bullshit, bollocks to you. You can forget that straight off the bat. It's not going to happen. And that's what you've told them. And you know what? They listened, because they've changed. And I'm telling you something, if it starts going back and forward, now if Sony do something, and then all of a sudden Microsoft go, well, we'll give you the 10 family members as sharing digital downloads, you could have one hell of a console war on your hands. And that's all we wanted. That's all I wanted, because competition is great for the consumer. It's the same with PC gaming and AMD and Intel. There was such a disparity between them for such a long time, and now AMD are coming out with a faster processor. It's just, you want that competition for things to constantly get better. Otherwise, what's the point? You get stuck in a rut. and which is why I think this console wars got stuck in a rut. I'd never thought that PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 went against each other quite as hard as they should have done, and they are now. So we'll see. But what I wanted to say to you guys is well done for voting with your wallets. Well done for the people who made videos just to try and get people aware and making your opinions known to everyone. And just keep track of it and just make sure that this does go the way I'm hoping, which is basically them trying to make better deals for you. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say on this, and this will definitely be the last one unless Microsoft announce something absolutely insane, which I don't think they will now. I think it's going to be very much status quo for a very long time. And, you know, that status quo that they've given us back, as in back to what it was in regards to the disc and not the DRM, is what I wanted. Yeah, they may have given us that 10 family members sharing and we've lost that, but I would give that up to have back the status quo we had before. And if they make a few more steps, because there's still time, if they make a few more steps, they could be back in the running, and they could be back in my consciousness to buy a console, buy an Xbox One from them. Who knows? Anyway, like I say, this is as much as I'm going to say on the matter now. Please stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be Dust and Elysian Tale, which is a review. I'm going to be giving away I've got about 30 Dota 2 keys to give away as well. So in the next video, if you just give me a message, and you can be one of the people who gets one of the keys. But just stay tuned for the next one for that, because I don't have them quite yet. But as soon as I do, which will be the next video, I will be giving them away. If you want to hear more from me, just like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
I just prefer the other.
Bullshit! How can it be bullshit to state a preference?